A lot of you guys have been leaving comments on videos saying, where's the NBA 2K19 MyLeague featuring the Alaska Explorers? I want to first of all apologize for not having episodes out to you guys as quickly as I want. We have had a myriad of issues, either the game freezing, audio glitches, video glitches, or playing against the team and having them shoot 65% for an entire game. It's not enjoyable, and honestly, when the game has worked, it has not been fun. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and sim the rest of this season to see how it does. We'll look in the future to see how this team ultimately does over the course of a few seasons. I feel like I owe that to you guys a little bit, just to have that closure for this franchise. And NBA 2K20 dropping so soon, I wouldn't have time to basically play all the games that I wanted to and get us to possibly the NBA Finals. So I'm sorry about that. I'll do my best, but we're gonna go ahead and simulate to see how we do. So I want to give you guys also a heads up. One of the games we had an audio glitch in was game 4 and game 5. We ended up having a pretty good game. We won by 10, but if you look at Jaden McDaniels, 35-10. Jalen played really well. Ja Morant, 2, 6, and 8. Not exactly ideal, for being honest, but I will say in game number 5, Ja Morant put on an absolute clinic. 56, 6, and 11. He simmed so much in that game. We probably played about 40% of it, and when I kept simming and I kept realizing Ja has a whole lot of points. I think I scored maybe 10 points with him as a user, and the rest was by the computer, which is mind-blowing. But he set the single game franchise record for most points in a postseason game for the Explorers, which is great. Jalen dropped 29. We see Jaden with 17-10. It was a heck of a game, but again, we beat the Spurs. It's pretty cool. Game 1, we lost against the Lakers. We had a visual glitch. Game 2, we had a robotic audio glitch. It was frustrating, so we're tied 1-1. We're just going to simulate the round to see how we basically do. I have no idea if we're going to win, lose, draw, whatever it's going to be. 2-2, 3-2. Don't blow a 3-2 lead. So 4-2, playing the Orlando Magic. That is huge. Let's see what we can basically get here. Are we going to win back-to-back NBA titles? Wow, okay. Back-to-back NBA champions. Let's go ahead and see who the finals MVP was. Jaden McDaniels, not surprised. He only scored 22 points per game, though. Had almost 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Dude was electric all postseason long, and he's a big reason why we came this far to win back-to-back NBA championships. So going into the following season, we've kept pretty much the core of our roster together. Ja Morant's up to a 92 overall. Jaden's up to a 91. Jalen is a meteoric rise up to a 90. Charles Bassey, 86. Nico, 86. We picked up Zion Harmon in the draft. Again, we simulated the draft and somehow we got him, so I'm not mad at that. And 81 overall as a 19-year-old. That's insane. I guess we technically had the Hornets draft pick, so that's probably what happened there. And Dante, it's an 81. We got Jetty Osman, it's an 81. Gerald Liddell, we brought back on a 3-year deal as an 80. White Powell, 7-time MVP, as an 80 overall. Austin Rivers, and then Jalen Smith with Jordan Lloyd and Marvin Bagley. He's injured for about 1 to 2 more weeks, so he won't be there at the beginning of the season, but he should be there in a couple of weeks. So a few weeks into the season, we're about 12-3 right now. Ja Morant, Jalen Green, Jaden McDaniels, Bagley, and Bassey are all of our starters. That's the core lineup we've been wanting to have. They're back, they're ready to go. A lot of those guys are on fire. Nico is the 6th man, is killing it at the moment. You have Zion, Dante, Jetty, Gerald, Dwight Powell, Austin Rivers, and Jalen Smith. And then we have Jordan Lloyd coming off the bench. Technically, we're actually 13-3, but this is probably the deepest team I think we've ever had. The end of the season is here, and RJ Hampton is going to walk out as your MVP. The Rookie of the Year goes to Patrick Baldwin of the Brooklyn Nets. The 6th Man of the Year goes to Chris Paul. Now, we're really old now if Chris Paul is the 6th Man of the Year. Zion gets your Defensive Player of the Year, putting up a pretty incredible stat line. Most Improved Player goes to Evan Mobley of the Memphis Grizzlies, and your Coach of the Year goes to our new coach, because our coach didn't want to re-sign with us, Oliver Gordon, who put up a 59-23 record. I'm not mad at that. Quick look at your All-NBA first teams. I'm not really going to go spend too much time on these, but you can essentially see that Ja Morant gets NBA third team. We also see Jaden get third team as well. Defensive team, we don't really have anybody. Nobody on the second team either. All-Rookie first team. Pretty studded cast out there. Paolo Banchero ends up getting there as well. He goes to Denver. And then really, we had nobody on the rookie team. Zaire Wade goes to Memphis, and he got on the all-rookie team as well, so good for him. Again, the playoffs are here. We're seeing if we can get the back-to-back NBA championships. We're playing Seattle. Again, we've had a rivalry with them. Jalen LeCue has been the stud for that team. We got a 3-0. Of course, we can never get a 4-0 sweep. It's impossible for us to get. We end up walking out with a 4-1 lead against them. We move on to face the Houston Rockets in the next round. So it's LA, Memphis, Philly, Milwaukee, and Boston, Cleveland as the teams that are available. So we simulate this round as well. Oh, Houston got up 1-0. Houston's up 2-0. Okay, we won. Houston, we have a problem. Okay, come back from a 3-1 lead. Let's do it. You know what? We can't be perfect. Request to go back to back to back does not happen. Let's go ahead and see who wins the playoffs in general. Boss is up early against Philly. They come back. Houston's actually beating the Lakers. Oh my God, Houston's incredible right now. I guess Chris Paul's a sixth man was a problem. So it's going to be Philly versus Houston. Houston's going to walk out of here with the NBA championship. Let's go ahead and see who got Finals MVP. Man, the myth, the legend, James Harden. He killed our hopes and dreams. It's all good though. Let's see what we can do after 5 years. So after the 2023-2024 season, Zion is your MVP. Your Rookie of the Year goes to Shaquille O'Neal, the youngest of the O'Neal sons, I think. Sixth Man of the Year goes to Anthony Edwards. Defensive Player of the Year for back-to-back seasons goes to Zion, and Most Improved Player goes to Scotty Lewis. The Coach of the Year going to Brad Stevens, picking up 58 wins for his team. I didn't give you guys a look at the league leaders in the last season, so I apologize for that, but RJ led the league with 27. Steph Curry still putting up about 25 a game. Here's a look at your top 10. Ultimately, with Kyrie Irving still playing for Utah. In terms of our team, Jalen Green led everybody with 17. Jaden had 15, Bagley had 13, Nico with 11, and Ja Morant is only averaging 10 points a game. Heck is happening. So to do what we do best, we'll be simulating round by round for the playoffs. Again, we're matched up against Houston this time. We are the #1 seed in the Western Conference. We can beat them, it'll be something nice. We actually get a sweep for the first time in franchise history, which is always great to see. Facing Seattle in the second round, which we faced them in the first round last season. Let's see if we can go ahead and beat them. Uh-oh. All right, we tied it up. Not looking good. Tied it up again. Got the lead. Tied up. Back-to-back seasons eliminated just before the Western Conference Finals. We're going to go ahead and simulate the entire playoffs again to see what happens. Seattle takes an early lead against Memphis, with Memphis Adams back. Boston and Atlanta are duking it out in the Eastern Conference, and it looks like it's going to be Atlanta versus Memphis in the finals. And then Atlanta almost has a sweep. They don't blow a 3-1 lead. Atlanta wins an NBA championship. Good for them. You know, Trendon Watford is the MVP for them. 20 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Solid performance, but he shot 57% basically from the field. Heck of a stat line. And in major news, LeBron James has actually retired from the NBA. 20 seasons in the league. What a career. And a lot of people want to argue about his Dwight Howard Hall of Famer. Apparently he is. Well, LeBron's stat line unmatched. Dwight Howard, debatable if he's a Hall of Famer. Then LeBron James gets his jersey retired from the Miami Heat, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Los Angeles Lakers. That's unbelievable. So we get in a little bit of financial trouble here, as both Nico and Jaden McDaniels are getting offered major contracts. Nico with 3 years, $85 million. Jaden at 4 years, $140 million. Lakers offer Jaden. Hawks offer Nico. They just won the NBA championship, so obviously enticing, but we want to still make one more playoff run with these guys at our core. So we're going to match both of those offers and try to keep them here. So at the end of this season, Zion continues his reign of terror in the NBA, getting the MVP for another year. Rookie of the Year goes to Mladen Olic. I'm going to say that guy's name, to be honest. Sixth Man of the Year goes to Trae Young, who's now playing for the Miami Heat. Wild that he's the Sixth Man of the Year, scoring 20 points per game. Who the heck is their starter? Defensive Player of the Year goes again for the 3rd year in a row, I believe, to Zion. Your Most Improved Player goes to Sharif Cooper out of the Charlotte Hornets. And then Coach of the Year again goes to Brad Stevens. We won 61 games, a franchise record this year, but the Boston Celtics won a whole lot more. To fly through the awards really quickly, I didn't show you guys last time because we didn't really have anybody winning anything. Ja Morant does get your All-NBA first team, which is great to see. RJ Hampton's out on the second team. Third team, see Sharif Cooper up there as well. Defensive first team, not a lot of surprises here with what's been going on in the NBA. Bol's on there. You have nobody on the second team. All rookie first team, we didn't have anyone. And second team, Philadelphia, there's a whole lot of people on it. Your league leaders for points this time around, Steph Curry goes up to 25 again. At 37 years old, he's putting up an insane number of points, which is wild. Jalen the Q is continuing his dominance in the NBA as one of the best players out there, now a 96 overall. Patrick Baldwin's hooping. Do we have anybody even close in the top? Okay, Jalen averaged 19.6, so he stepped it up, but I'm surprised nobody else is really killing it. For our team to go a closer look at it, 19.6 again by Jalen. Jaden has 16 with only 6 rebounds per game. You see the ball is being spread around a lot. It's probably because we have so many really talented players. I mean, we have, what, at least 5 players over a 91 overall? That's absolutely insane. And probably Dante got hurt. He tore his right hand ligament. He's out for the season. Ryan Harmon's putting up decent numbers as a backup point guard. White Pal. No slander allowed. So it's time for the playoffs. We're going to simulate round by round until our team is eliminated or until we basically won it all. Facing the Dallas Mavericks in the first round is so far so good. A 3-0 lead. Can we get that sweep? I believe the second sweep of our entire franchise's history here. Facing the Denver Nuggets in the second round, which always a tough team to play. They probably still have Michael Porter Jr. I think they still have Bol Bol, if I remember correctly. We got a 2-1 lead, a 3-1 lead. Oh no, 3-2, 4-2. Okay, we advanced. We're facing Memphis, who I believe was in the NBA Finals last year. And they lost to what? Hawks? Can't even remember, actually. Simulating this round as well. Boston versus Atlanta, us versus Memphis. 2-0 lead. 2-1. Oh god, 2-2. 3-2. Yes, okay, we're back in the NBA Finals. Can we finally get that championship after trying to go for the 2-peat? We got that. The 3-peat didn't work. Here we go. Facing Boston. Let's go game by game. Simulate game by game. Game 1. God, it's the Boston. See what game 2 does. Tied it up. I'm nervous. There's so much tension. Not looking good. Boston's got a 2-1 lead right now. Boston has a 3-1 lead. I'm nervous. Boston won the NBA championship. You hate to see it. Anthony Edwards, 17 points per game for them. Killed it. Tried to get the championship and it didn't work. So the newest member of the Hall of Fame is going to be Chris Paul in the year 2025. Finally retires and finally goes in. And while Draymond didn't go in the Hall of Fame, he did get his jersey retired. He left, it looks like, Golden State for about a 3-year period or something of that nature. Wait, how did he play for Golden State from 2012 to 2022? Also 2020 to 2025. Part of that overlap. I'm really confused. So we're going into what is going to be our final season here. Ja Morant, Jalen Green, Jaden, Marvin, and Charles Bassey. A starting lineup we've been able to keep for a long time. Nico still a 6th man at a 91 overall. How mad do you think he probably is? But he's enjoying it though. Zion, Ollie Dante, Gerard Liddell, Dwight Powell, and Bolden, Brooks, Patrick Kelly. And then we have a guy named Tom Farmer who tore his Achilles, so we won't see him until halfway through the season. So at the end of what is going to be the final season of this franchise, Jalen LeCue goes off and has 28 points per game, getting the MVP with almost a triple-double for the year. Rookie of the year goes to Jack Conley of the Spurs. 6th man of the year goes to Nico Mannion. About time he gets some recognition out there. Defensive player of the year, Zion wins this every single season. It is unbelievable. Most improved player goes to Jalen Johnson of the Utah Jazz. And coach of the year, Brad Stevens and the Celtics just won 70 games after winning 66 last year. They're going to be a problem. Now, big news for our team is that Zion Harmon tore his right Achilles, so he's gone for the entire season. Let's go ahead and look and see what our lineup actually looks like. So again, we're keeping the core of Ja, Jalen, Jaden, really tough to say, Triple J, Marvin Bagley, Charles Bassey. That hasn't really changed much. Nico Mannion, still our guy off the bench. Ollie Dante, Gerard Liddell, Dwight Powell, Tom Farmer, first name in all of the league, and Bolden. I think where we're really struggling is we don't really have a point guard to help out Ja. We just have a backup shooting guard, so I think I'm gonna look and see what's available in free agency. So apparently free agency is gone and all you can do is make trades, but I don't want to risk messing up our team chemistry, so we're just gonna say YOLO. We're gonna run with it. So simulating the first round, just please. If Ja Morant gets hurt, we're basically screwed. We've got to make craziest trades of all time. We're up 2-1 in the series, tied 2-2. Got a 3-2 lead. He skated by just barely with that. So Phoenix is actually in the playoffs for the first time in a really long time. Boston went up 4-2 against Virginia on their side. Let's simulate this round again. Phoenix takes an early lead. Tie it back up. You go ahead and take the lead. Go ahead even more. And we advance 4-1. I liked it. The gentleman sweep. It's all good. The Clippers and the Nuggets struggled. That was a 4-3 series there. Boston advances 4-3 against Orlando. So even though they won all those games, maybe they aren't as good as we thought they might have been. They go up early here with a 2-0 lead. I like that. 2-1. Because they're fighting back again. They were in a hard-fought series. We go up 4-1 against them. Boston 4-0s Brooklyn Nets. Back. Let's go ahead and check our lineup really quick to see how we're doing. Everybody seems to be healthy. Ja is clicking on all cylinders, averaging 39. I mean, my rotation again for you guys down to 9 players here. So let's see. Ja, Jalen, Jaden. Squad's looking good. Nico's on fire. I mean, all the major players are killing it. And finally, Dante's out. Zion Harmon's out. So 2 of our good bench players are going to be out. If we win this one, honestly, it's a miracle. So let's go. First game. Let's go game by game. I don't want to go round. Oh, God. Boston went up 1-0. They've had our number. Tied it up. Gotta love it. If we can get a 2-1 lead. We got a 2-1 lead. Okay, come on. Let's do it. Let's finish the series off strong. Boston knows what they're doing. This goes to 7 games. My heart can't take it. 3-2 lead. Can we clinch it right here, right now? I believe. My heart can't take this. This is it. This is the moment we've been waiting for. This is the moment. I hate the Boston Celtics. So we're not going to win the championship. It's unfortunate. I really thought this would have been our year. Anthony Edwards, 22 points per game. Oh, we had him. Our squad is so stacked. I want to go ahead and look at their final roster too. I mean, they have got to have. What? I mean, who is putting up these numbers? They have Wiseman, Brown, Jackson, Tatum. I mean, what did our team do? Ja Morant at 27. It's unfortunate. We didn't have what it took to get the job done. You hate to see it, but things happen. Squad wasn't meant to be. Okay, so beat me, but I lied. We're doing one more season. Ja Morant ends up getting the MVP at 19 points per game, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and leading his team to 64 wins, the most we've had in franchise history. Yet Sean Alexander is the Rookie of the Year, averaging 20 a game. Sixth Man of the Year goes to Cam Fletcher, averaging 19 and 6 a game. Defensive Player of the Year, you guessed it, goes to Zion. Most Improved goes to Gerald Edwin, who has the worst facial hair combo I've ever seen in my entire life. And then your Coach of the Year goes to Brad Stevens, edging us out, getting 65 wins instead of 64. Look at our rotation going into the playoffs. You have Ja, Jalen, Jaden, Triple J is still there. Those guys are, what a duo, or what a trio. Marvin Bagley, power forward. Charles Bassey, who's a little bit tired right now. We got to make sure we watch that. Nico Mannion, Zion, Polly Dante, Gerald Liddell. I don't know who this is. Hassan Randall, Low Bolden, Arthur Rooks, and Dwight Powell is the last guy on the bench. And then Pat Kelly is sort of part of the team, but not really. This is going to be tough. Again, it feels like forever that we are the #1 team in the Western Conference and Boston is the #1 team in the Eastern Conference. We meet again in the finals. I have no idea. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I hope that we can just somehow get there and win the championship. Even if we lose this year, it is by far the last one. We'll see if Dwight Powell finally retires as well. So far, so good. As we advance to the next round, we're going to be facing Seattle, and then we've lost to before in the second round. We get past them this time and fulfill our destiny. We've only won 2 championships ever. And right now, Seattle's off to a good start. So we got a 2-1 lead after they go up 1-0. Tied it back at 2-2. This is a rivalry, man. 3-2. We finally advanced. So Boston advances 4-3 against Charlotte, but it's Boston, Atlanta versus us in LA. But it's the Clippers this time, not the Lakers. So we're going to simulate this round. I'm so nervous right now. 1-0, 2-0, 1, 3-1. This is what I like to see. 4-1. We're back. Us versus Boston. 2 teams with the best records in the All-NBA. Let's go ahead and see how our team is looking. I'm assuming no injuries have come through. Ja still looking good. Charles Bassey does not seem to be tired anymore. All right, the squad has no injuries. Zion Harmon is back to being healthy. We're going game by game. You need to beat this team. First game, Boston's up 1-0. Second game. Third game. Okay, we got a little bit of life in us right now. See what we got. Okay, we've tied it up. Doing 2 more games right here, right now. This is it. This is it. We did it finally. I'm so glad we did one more season. We beat the Boston Celtics. We are NBA champions for, I believe, the 3rd time ever, which is so good to see. The drought, we won 2 in a row, and then we just went on a drought. Kept the squad together. Ja Morant is your finals MVP. 22 points per game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Turnovers, a little bit high, but it is what it is. Ja Morant leads the team back to his promised land. I am so excited to see this team do what they came to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I'm going to check to see if Dwight Powell actually retired. If he did, we're going to retire his jersey in ceremonial fashion. If he didn't, then imagine that we retired his jersey. So at the end of all of this, here's where we're basically ending. Dwight Powell does not want to retire, so we won't be able to retire his jersey. We were 3-time NBA champions, 5-time conference champions, 7 division titles, 9 playoff appearances. Our best record was 64-18. I'm incredibly happy with how this series went. We did so much, such little time, and I appreciate all of you guys supporting the series like you did. The last thing that I want to do for this series, just to give it a proper send-off, is to show you guys what some of your favorite players ended up doing from an award perspective. And Ja Morant ends up getting the MVP in 2027, the first time in his career. Ends up being a 3-time NBA champion, a 6-time NBA All-Star, 3-time first-team All-NBA, is third team All-NBA 4 times, Rookie of the Year in 2020, first team All-Rookie as well in 2020. For Jaden McDaniels, a guy who carried us in the playoffs so many times, he was an NBA champion 3 times, an All-Star 4 times, third team All-NBA 3 times. Surprised he never got better than that. Rookie of the Year in 2021 and first team All-Rookie also in 2021. Jalen Green only won the title twice, but he was such an important player for us throughout his entire career. The first 99 overall that we ever had. He was an All-Star in 2027, and he also was second team All-Rookie his rookie season. Nico Mannion is probably the most unselfish player we ever had in the entire franchise history. He was the 6th man for basically his entire career. Being a 91 overall and being the first guy off the bench is something that not a lot of players can actually do, but he did it, and he did it extremely well, better than anyone in my opinion. 6th man was only won once in 2026. Should have had it every single season in my opinion. He was an NBA champion 3 times, and second team All-Rookie, again in addition to being the 6th man of the year in 2026. Marvin Bagley was a late addition, but he ended up being an NBA champion twice and second team All-Rookie 1 time. Charles Bassey is a guy that we forgot about half the time that he actually was on the court, but still a 3-time NBA champion who didn't have a ton of accolades, but had a solid career. Now, Dwight Powell did refuse to resign with us for whatever reason, but it is what it is. He was a 3-time NBA champion, a 7-time MVP. It's just glitched and not showing there, but I can say this going forward in the future, in the NBA 2K20 series we do for MyLeague, no one will ever wear number 7 again. Why? Because no one has ever done it better than Dwight Powell.